a whole bundle of things. So it's like, especially if he's providing, oh baby, you should literally have no worries other than providing. Okay. There should not be no other worries than that. You need to focus on that. Leave everything else for me.
Yeah. What if he told you, listen, babe, I appreciate you so much.
Until you go to jail, nigga.
You're amazing. but
the feds come.
I need that chain off your neck. What you gonna do?
I'm taking it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever he says goes. I feel like the man is the king. He's the leader. I'm following his lead. I love a man that can lead. And me, I'm an alpha female. Like,
there we go.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I am.
Myron, you what? A smart retard?
Yeah.
I am. So to find a man that I feel like could lead is a huge thing. So when I find a man that can lead, I'm submitting. I'm gonna submit for you. Whatever you want me to do, I got you.
Who makes more, you or him?
Him.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course you do.
All right. What about you?
Rice for breakfast?
What
if I said I'm a feminine man? Would you find that attractive?
No.
Oh.
So why do you think
I hate
saying
that.
saying
Alpha.
that, why because you're not the first girl to say this ridiculous concept of alpha female. Like when a girl says I'm an alpha female, that's the equivalent to a guy saying, well, yeah, I'm a feminine man.
No, so I'm an alpha female to other females, but when it comes to my man, I'm in my most feminine state because he's allowing me to be there.
So you're telling me that okay,
Yeah.
so I can wear so by your logic, you're saying you're alpha around other women, right? But then you
Yes.
become a woman when you're with a man, right?
Yes.
All right. What if I decided, I'm going to wear heels when I'm with other dudes, but then I wear shoes when I'm with you?
That is not the type of guy that I will be dating.
So then why would you expect a man to want to be with the alpha female then?
No,
By your
that's
own
the thing.
logic.
That's the thing. When he's with me, he's not getting the alpha female. Only other women are getting
But
alpha female.
do you see what I'm doing here?
Yes.
So you're selectively picking when you want to be a lady.
Yeah.
No, not so. When it comes to the man, I'm in my feminine energy.
He understands
But
you.
when I'm in a room full of other women, I do tend to take control.
And here's the thing, when I'm with my guys, I just wear heels.
Yeah,
and then when I get around my lady, I'm a masculine man. Doesn't that sound crazy?
No, I feel like you should soften up when you're around your man. And then when you're out in the business world, you should stand up straight and lead as a woman, especially an entrepreneur as myself that owns businesses and I have people that work for me. I have to project myself in that
All
way.
I'm simply demonstrating is, you said to me, like, you obviously would not be attracted to a guy that wore heels around his friends, right? So, like, I find it interesting always how women want a guy to accept them for being masculine and having these alpha characteristics. Because when you say I'm an alpha female, all you're basically saying is I'm a masculine female.
To women, not to my man though. My man doesn't see that alpha female of me.
Here's the thing. Do you have an A-type personality?
I'm sorry?
Or do you have an A-type personality? I'm assuming you do if you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
Well, people that have A-type personalities, it's very difficult to conceal that. They work all the time. They're very assertive. They're very dominant. It's very hard to conceal that, and men will feel that energy when they hang out with you.
Very loud.
And that is why I attract very masculine men. It takes a very masculine man, to deal with a woman like that.
Criminals, army men.
I mean, you said deal with. I mean, that's a terrible. I mean, damn, if a guy's got to deal with you, that's an L.
No, not deal. Okay, you're right. That was the wrong word to use, but to accept that, like but some men like that, like she's taking charge, she's running stuff. But with me, she's soft, caring. I see that other side of her that other people don't see. So it goes both ways.
Okay. I wish you the best. What about you? What do you bring to the table?
I don't think men like it.
Yeah, we hate that shit.
Because I think that's probably why I'm single too, but I at least own it. Like I'm pretty aggressive, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, poor me, why am I single, right? Like I decided to prioritize my career throughout my 20s, and I didn't go out, and I'm not on dating apps, I'm not on Instagram, and I probably have like a very masculine energy with the work that I do and the profession that I'm in, and I don't expect men who are surrounded by women on OnlyFans and Instagram all day that are just sitting around doing nothing but having their sugar daddies pay for their salon appointments while they, go on vacations and crop their man out. Like that's gonna come across as maybe like more feminine.
No, right.
Because I used to think, right? Like I used to think that, and this is something I'll thank men for, right? I used to think to myself, oh, well, guys are really going to care about your accomplishments. And as long as I'm like accomplished, a guy's going to have more respect for me than the hoe, right? Like, how could he respect this hoe when he's not going to respect me? But at the end of the day, like if a guy's going to cheat on you, he's going to cheat on you. And you having like a valedictorian position on, like I was valedictorian, I had a 4.0 GPA. Like I have a lot of accomplishments. I have my shit together, but it still doesn't mean that you're not going to get cheated on. Like if somebody wants to go cheat, they're going to go cheat, right? And they, like people cheat because
we'll cheat with the girl with the 1.0 GPA.
Yeah, because maybe they have more feminine energy. I don't know why people cheat. People cheat for different reasons, but I do think that like we like to convince ourselves that that's normal, and I've been guilty of it too. But I don't think that that's really how like men and women are supposed to operate, right? We've convinced ourselves because we're living in an era now where women are working, where in the past, right, like people used to be married for longer periods of time. Now you're lucky if you stay married for 5 years before you get a divorce. Yeah. And people are not necessarily like in monogamous relationships anymore. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that there's been like this warped mentality of gender roles. And you're like, people would say, oh, you're a hypocrite, right? Like you say you're married to the game, Laura. You say that, you're always working, you're too busy. But yeah, like I'll be lucky as a 30-year-old woman who's going to turn 31 in May. I will be lucky if I ever get a husband. And that's just reality. Like I will be lucky if
You've accepted it.
I've accepted it. Like I will be lucky if I ever have a child, right? Because like ideally you would want to
That takes a lot to admit. Most girls would never admit that.
I would want to date somebody for at least like 2 years before I get married. So I'm 31 in May, right? Okay. 32, 33. Then it takes like a year to plan a wedding. You're not going to really like get pregnant and have a baby unless you're married and in a committed relationship. And so then I'll be 36 and then that's considered a geriatric pregnancy. I never froze my eggs. And, I could adopt, right? And some people will say like, oh, well, you'll be like more sad about not having a kid, but I've accepted it. And I know that I could I used to tell myself like, oh, how could he cheat? Like, I don't understand. Like, I was so good to him. I paid for shit. I was so nice. I was so loyal. And then it doesn't mean anything. Like guys don't care about your accomplishments. And this was something that was like really hard for me to accept because I used to be that girl that thought, oh, well, I'm like better than all these other girls because I'm not a hoe and I'm smart and, I'm accomplished. They don't give a fuck. They really don't give a fuck. None of you are special. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, I'm not a 10. I know that I'm not a 10, right? Like, I know that I'm not the hottest girl. All these other girls, they want to think, like, they want their boyfriends to tell them, like, hey, baby, you're, like, the prettiest girl in the world. Like, oh, if you had the chance to date me or Kim Kardashian, who would you date? Like, of course he's going to fucking say Kim Kardashian, but you want him to say you, right? Yeah. Like, people don't want to accept reality.
You want to date me.
And they're, like, nobody in here is a 10. Right? Raise your hand if you're a 10.
In your opinion.
No. I'm not trying to put anybody down.
No,
I'm just saying.
You state in your opinion. That's your opinion.
Well, I think it's reality. I'm saying that nobody in here is a 10. And the reality is that, like, there are a lot of 10s in Miami, right? There are a lot of 10s everywhere. And if you're older and you're living in a world where, men are surrounded by 10s with a click away, whether it be like Bumble, Tinder, whatever, okay? Like your chances of really finding a lifelong partner are pretty slim. I think that's the reality that most women need to accept because...
How many girls on the panel think they're 10s, just out of curiosity?
Are we going by looks or are we going by personality?
Looks only, because we don't care about your personality.
Men don't care about personality.
I'm just joking.
We're going looks only.
Totally kidding.
I feel like everybody should regard themselves in the highest esteem possible. So you don't feel like you a 10, but you should.
What if it's not true though?
That's opinion based.
It is opinion based.
It's every single
European.
Somebody across the world can look at you and be like, "Oh my God, you are a 10."
Yes.
They could start talking to you, and they would think you're
in some places in Africa, the biggest women are the prettiest, are the most beautiful women. That's why it's all.
I appreciate this thing that women do where they like to build each other up, but I like. I'm not a 10. I'm not a 10. I'm not. I used to be heavier. I lost weight. Like, I don't have like big boobs. I probably have some stretch marks. Like, I'm just being honest, right? Like, I'm not ashamed of it because for me, like, I've never been a woman that, like, I was able to build my platform not off of sexualizing myself. You will never find a photo of me with my top off. You will never find a photo of me with my boobs out. You will never find a photo of me like with a man online because I've been able to build a platform based off of my my brain and my, you know, political acumen and things like that. And so for me, like, I don't give a shit in the comments if people think I look like a tranny. I don't care if people think I look like a man. No, but I'm just saying, like, people say things. It doesn't bother me because, like, I don't care if a man wants to fuck me or not, because if he's gonna fuck somebody, he's gonna do it regardless of whether I give him permission or not, right? Like, that's just reality.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so you guys think women should regard themselves as 10s? You do?
Yes, you should have the highest self-esteem in the world.
So.
Everybody,
yeah, absolutely.
That's healthy.
But what if it's like objectively not true though? Because to say that you're a 10 effectively means you're perfect.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It just means you're perfectly happy with how you are. You feel like you're perfect for your own self.
But
it's like, in your eyes, you are perfectly fine. If you had the opportunity to go get surgery for free at the doctor, you'd be like, no, I'm fucking fine how I am. It doesn't mean you think you're perfect.
I just think that means you're confident.
You confident. You good with how you look.
When a woman says, I'm a 10, that just means that she has confidence, and I feel every woman should have it. Because one man could look at you and be like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful woman I ever seen. And then another man could be like, she ain't all that. But somebody really could look at you and be like, she's the one. So it's opinion based.
And
so your opinion of yourself
about everything
your opinion
right
of yourself should be the highest one in the room.
Yeah.
So that's why when I say it's opinion based, like, you might not think
because
I'm a 10
honestly,
or you're a 10,
in my eyes, I be seeing niggas out with bitches and they like really be big and they girl up like, my woman bad as fuck, and in they eyes she really is the baddest bitch in the room, but everybody else is looking like, what is this nigga, like this young, got money, got doing with her? In his eyes, she really bad as fuck. And it's how she wears it. In his, like...
So...
I think you're never going to please everybody. Fetish.
I've noticed...
Well, even got opinions.
Fetishes are opinions.
Yeah, like, right nowadays, we look at, like, 10s as, like, the girls with the perfect noses, the big boobs, the airbrush on Instagram, the this, that, the European beauty standards. But I don't think... Me, personally, I think, like, a 10 out of 10 is, like, the beautiful ethnic girls from Africa with, like, the big noses and big foreheads, skinny jawline. That's, to me, is a 10. Like, I don't like all these fake lips, like, these injections, BBLs. To me, that's not a 10. I like the skinny, natural bodies. To me, that's a 10.
Are your boobs real?
Yeah, they are.
They really?
Nice. Yeah, they are.
But hold on, are you a man?
Am I a what?
Are you a man?
No, but I know what I like.
So how you gonna tell us what a 10 is?
Because, like I said, it's in the eye of the beholder. It's what I feel
I'm choosing
like,
girls.
in my opinion.
You're not.
But he just asked me what I felt like was a 10.
Oh, okay.
So, but do you like the same thing he likes? Aha.
Actually, yes. However, I'm not a good example. But the majority of people, the world itself will tell you what you are.